In a quiet little village nestled among rolling green hills lived a young girl named Lily. Lily had a dream as big as the tallest hill that watched over her village. The hill was called Whispering Peak, and it was said that from its summit, you could see the most beautiful sunrise in the world. Lily dreamed of climbing Whispering Peak, of standing on its very top and watching the sun paint the sky with its morning colors. But whenever she shared her dream, the villagers would shake their heads. "Oh, Lily," they'd say with a gentle smile, "Whispering Peak is too high. Its path's too treacherous for someone so young. It's a climb for seasoned hikers, not for a little girl." Their words were kind, but they carried a weight of doubt that tried to anchor Lily's adventurous spirit. Yet, every morning, she would wake up, look out her window at the majestic silhouette of the peak against the dawn, and her resolve would harden. She knew, deep in her heart, that she had to try. The whispers of the peak were calling her name, and she was determined to answer. One bright and early morning, while the rest of the village was still asleep, Lily packed a small bag with a water bottle, an apple, and a bandage, just in case. With a heart full of excitement and a touch of nervousness, she tiptoed out of her house and began her journey towards Whispering Peak. The air was cool and smelled of damp earth and pine needles. The first part of the trail was familiar, a gentle slope she had walked 100 times. But soon, the path grew steeper and wilder. Slippery moss covered the rocks, and a web of tangled roots crisscrossed her way, trying to trip her at every step. The trees grew thicker, their branches forming a dense canopy that filtered the morning light. Lily pushed forward, her small legs working hard, her breath coming in quick puffs. She used her hands to pull herself up rocky ledges and carefully navigated the twisting path. It was harder than she had imagined, much harder. The villagers' warnings echoed in her mind, but the image of the sunrise from the top pushed her onward. Every step was a small victory, a testament to her growing determination. She was no longer just a little girl with a dream. She was a climber, an adventurer on a grand quest. The climb was relentless. The higher she went, the more the mountain seemed to test her. A loose stone sent her tumbling, and she landed with a sharp cry, scraping her knee on a rough rock. A trickle of blood ran down her leg, and a wave of pain and discouragement washed over her. Tears welled up in her eyes as she sat on the cold ground, clutching her knee. The peak seemed so far away now, an impossible goal. Maybe they were right, she whispered to herself, the brave facade crumbling. Maybe I am too small for this. Just as she was about to give up, she heard a soft hoo-hoo from a branch above. She looked up and saw a wise old owl, its large golden eyes blinking slowly at her. It felt as if the owl could see right into her heart. The path to the top is not a single leap, the owl hooted, its voice surprisingly gentle and clear. It is taken one step at a time. Rest now, little climber, but do not let a single stumble end your journey. The owl's words were like a soothing balm on her wounded spirit. Lily looked at her scraped knee, then back up at the trail, one step at a time. She took a deep breath, carefully cleaned her scrape with a leaf, and got back on her feet. The pain was still there, but so was her resolve, now stronger than before. With renewed purpose, Lily continued her ascent. The owl's words, one step at a time, became her mantra, a steady rhythm that matched her footsteps. She climbed and climbed, the world below shrinking into a patchwork quilt of greens and browns. She felt tired, her muscles ached, but she was closer than ever. Just as she thought she could see the final ridge, a thick, white fog began to roll in, swallowing the landscape around her. It came silently, creeping up the mountainside until she was wrapped in a cold, damp blanket. She couldn't see the path ahead, nor could she see the trail behind her. A chilling fear gripped her heart. She was alone, lost in a sea of white. Panic started to set in. The peak was invisible, her destination erased. Exhausted and scared, she sank onto a large, flat rock, the cold seeping through her clothes. The thought of turning back, of admitting defeat, was overwhelming. It's no use, she thought, burying her face in her hands. But then, she remembered the owl. one step at a time, and as if in answer to her thoughts, a miracle happened. A single, brilliant ray of golden sunlight pierced through the dense fog, illuminating a small patch of the path just ahead of her. It was the first light of dawn. The fog began to thin, swirling and dancing as more rays broke through, turning the white mist into a glowing, ethereal haze. Hope surged through her, a powerful warmth that chased away the cold and the fear. She could see the summit now, just a little further up. The sunrise was waiting for her. Taking a deep, invigorating breath of the crisp mountain air, Lily pushed herself to her feet. The final stretch was the steepest yet, a scramble over large boulders that required all her remaining strength. Her body screamed in protest, but her spirit soared. With the sun's golden rays guiding her way, she pulled herself up, one last heave, and suddenly, there was no more up to climb. She was there. She was standing on the summit of Whispering Peak. The view that greeted her stole her breath away. Below her, the fog had settled into the valleys like a vast, white ocean, with the tops of smaller hills poking through like islands. And before her, the sun was rising in a magnificent explosion of color. Fiery oranges, soft pinks, and deep purples painted the sky, reflecting off the sea of clouds. It was more beautiful, more magical than anything she had ever imagined. A wide, triumphant smile spread across Lily's face. She had done it. The villagers were wrong. She wasn't too small. She wasn't too young. As she stood there, bathed in the warm light of the new day, she understood something profound. The journey was hard. There were stumbles and moments of doubt. But with determination and by taking it one step at a time, she could achieve anything. The sunrise was her reward, a promise that every challenge overcome makes the view from the top that much sweeter. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales of courage and adventure. See you next time.